Let's have some reminders from last session. Sophie needs to make her descent roll. Oh, yeah!
I need to do what?
So you've all been up and about long enough now that your life juice is starting to boil away a bit. So you need to make a second roll to see if you lose a dot of it.
Wait, in less than a day?
Yeah, it's a scene or 12 hours.
Holy fuck, we decay fast.
It's more like you decay faster the more of it you have.
Oh, okay.
So at second one, you can ride it out for months, years, or in rare cases, even decades if it's a Sothic turn, as now, or if you have, your judge is really approving of the shit you're doing, though they generally don't, even if you're doing a really good job. But yeah, when you first arise, you...
Sorry, I just saw the album artwork for the session. It's great.
I'm glad you like it. Hey, webcam Sophie!
Hello. I'm very sleepy.
I should have made a tea before sesh, really. Yes, so we'll do that in a sec, but Sophie needs to make a descent roll. Hippo Watch continues. The party wanted to go look for the pharaoh at his capital to see if he knows what's up, / potentially punish him. We've been dead for 1600 years. I'm shocked we made it through that entire episode without an Everybody's Dead Day joke. Nebty number 1 plus Adiris have fancy threads. Anakh has simple threads. The director has disgusting gore threads.
He's welcome.
A boat is being prepared for the morning. A map of Egypt has been acquired, showing that it's considerably smaller than the Nameless Empire. Oh, and a reminder I set for myself as well. Last session I implied that you were all in the New Kingdom. That's completely wrong. You're not. You're still in the Old Kingdom. The Archaic period predates you. The one of you who's mildly into Egyptology, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. But I got my epochs wrong, basically.
It happens. I get confused which one I'm alive in all the time.
So what's the roll that I need to do?
So, you need to roll your current second rating, and if you get even one success, you go down a dot at second. So you're hoping to fail all 10 dice.
Wow. Okay.
That's how they cope with the inverse thing, basically, where you're more likely to lose it the more of it you have. Yep, that's 3 successes, I'm afraid. You drop a dot of second. Your life energy burning out, taking you from 10 down to 9.
Oh, it's only 1 per roll. Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 per roll.
I was worried for a second. I was like, 3? That's going to be really bad.
No, this sets our tempo for the campaign, is the thing. So, if you lost 3 in one go, that would put me on a timer, not you.
So out of curiosity, do we always roll at the end of every scene / 12 hours, or is it No,
it's scaling.
Okay, so the lower we go, the less frequently we have to roll.
Yes, unless you do something to piss your judge off, or otherwise, fuck around and find out with cosmic forces. Or take too much personal time. You've got a job to do. You're in Compass Satan's middle managers, and you're going to serve.
I had to get my nails done,
Well,
I did serve. I brutally murdered people for blasphemy.
The other side of the perpetual immortality deal was that your shift is also immortal and never ends. So you always serve forever, and you can't die.
I can think of worse things, honestly.
Those also get to happen to you. Technically, those are your off shifts, I guess.
Hooray!
Yay!
Could be worse.
No tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
There's a version of this where your senile boss moves into your skull with you.
Oh, cool! Skull buddies. I get top bunked.
No, you
Yes?
really don't. They get top bunk.
What?
And they are dicks about it.
Oh, man.
They get all the bunks.
No, they don't get all the bunks. It's complicated. It's basically the plot of the middle seasons of Red vs. Blue to an extent.
They take the top bunk and the bottom bunk and make you sleep on the floor.
Yeah. But you still have to go out to work and earn cash. It's a whole... Yeah. Hypothetically, there might be some ways of getting out of this, but... Anywho... Yes, so in that case, I think we left off inside the central temple. It was night, and you had the boat being prepared for you to sail up towards the pharaonic capital of Inbu Hedge. A trip that's likely to take some time as you're sailing across a good deal of Egypt. You also don't sleep, any of you. So, what are we doing for the rest of the evening?
Right after I took a bite of food.
So we're waiting for the boat right now.
You are currently waiting for the boat, yes.
Okay.
Consider the director schlorped for the time being, but it shouldn't be a major issue.
Are there humans awake?
Not generally. It's I think it was a while after sunset when you arose. So
There were some.
there were some, but most will be in bed at this hour. You might be able to find a tavern or something.
I would like to find an awake human and command them to take me to the nearest archive.
You are aware that the high priest of the largest temple in Inbu Hedge, a name which means the Hill of Relics for the record. I've actually read a little bit more of the splat book. Yes, the high priest for this temple ran off to his quarters, which were quite close by, so it should be relatively easy for you to find him.
Yes, I shall.
Whereupon he stammers out a reply to you in halting Iremic. Great divinity, his eyes downcast. We do not have a true archive.
A true archive?
We have
What do you have?
records and spells and scrolls, but nothing like the divine wisdom of the heavens.
I shall need to see them.
Most are kept in this and several of the other temples in town. Few at funerary complexes further out into Deshret. That's the desert.
Have them collected and brought to me. Now.
The high priest nods and hops to it, fleeing his room, going off to get his attendants.
I return to my companions and say, well, if we're going to be waiting until a boat arrives, then I might as well make myself useful.
You're currently in a small garden in the middle of a temple, the largest temple that York could find, for the record, Sophie.
Oh, yeah, I did wonder where it was hanging about. I saw a little icon on the screen, and I was like, where do we?
I think Anakh
he marched off
Sun-Amun...
to a bigger temple and demanded to know why his was so small.
Yeah,
As soon as he found a human.
We did find the man with the biggest hat.
Yes, that is how he went about doing this.
That's what I suggested. Outrageous.
Yes.
I mean,
He
you weren't there
very
to
much
object.
to you last session. He was very Karen-y.
He played your legacy well. I think Anakh Sun-Amun's gonna leave the temple and she's gonna wander around the town, just kind of silently observing the people, how they work, how they live, where they are, differences in culture, that kind of thing. All just filing it away, for sort of future reference and making a mind map of what this new nameless empire is.
So, that will work to an extent. I will say you'll have a little bit of trouble observing people as it's after dark and most people are in bed.
some form of nightlife we can establish.
Yeah, I was going to say, not everybody will
You
be
can
in bed.
still observe them. They just won't be doing anything.
Extremely mildly, basically. It's an agricultural civilization, so people kind of go to sleep, or most people go to sleep shortly after the sun sets and rise with it in the morning.
I mean, that doesn't mean I still can't learn things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying on the people side, you won't get a huge amount before sunrise.
That's fine.
Cool. I'll take investigation manipulation, please.
Oh wait, so am I with the group then? And just
Yes, you are with the group. We have. Sorry, I should get these names up in the top left so I can actually remember what people are called.
2 successes.
Cool. Just a second. So yeah,
Hey, I picked an easy name.
Adiris has gone off to harass the local high priest. He's working on getting a load of scrolls. Anakh Sun-Amun has just sort of quietly walked off without mentioning where she's going, which is kind of on brand so far. She's gone off to investigate things. The director is currently schlorped, which leaves you with Generico McMummy and the other Nebty sat in a rather lovely little garden, complete with fish pond.
oh, okay. Sorry, carry on, Nikki.
2 successes from Anakh Sun-Amun. You leave the temple and begin doing your rounds of Abju. The town is perhaps a little larger than first you might have thought. It's still not massive, certainly not a city in the same way that Irem was. Not by your standards. But certainly the people here seem to have crammed in houses quite compactly into at least some of the streets, and you can see that though the settlement does boast something like a set of walls, not massive stone ones, I think it's more like a palisade situation. They have built outside it in more than a few locations. As mentioned, the place is incredibly sleepy. Most people are simply not awake. This indicates to you something like a rural settlement, at least in your older experience. I think people have told you that it's not. The Nameless Empire did not sleep after dark. Rarely did it sleep at all, in fact. And at least
No, hola, amigos.
Heyo. And that's the director popping in with a schlorp. And at least some of the Shaniatu seem to prefer to work in the
hear
evening.
anything.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ollie.
We
Yeah,
just
but I
chose
don't
to
think
ignore
he can
you.
hear us. I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think so
Okay.
This
either.
is problem.
One sec, I don't want him interrupting.
Sounds
me.
like an Ollie problem.
Does indeed.
His character trips over and dies.
He won't stay dead.
Dies again.
But he'll return at full second, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if it counts as a new descent. I don't think so. I think you, I'd need to double check the rules on dying, but I think you return at the same second. I think you might even lose second from dying.
So sorry, I couldn't hear you guys. They hear me, but I couldn't hear you.
Yeah,
We figured. Don't
Yes.
you worry.
So basically, Anakh Sun-Amun, the place seems, by your standards, you would call it rural, even if the locals don't think it is, and it is pretty clearly a temple town. You spot no small number of other temples scattered around, as well as shrines and necropoli. Clearly, this has been a place of faith for quite some time. So that's what they're up to. What are the Nebties doing? Nebties and the director. You haven't moved, Ollie. You're still in the garden.
Oh, are we on the boat yet?
Nope, you haven't moved. You're still in the garden.
we are waiting for
Oh.
the boat.
Yeah, we're waiting for the boat.
In which case, then, So I guess I'm going to wait for the boat. Maybe
Still have a
engage
problem
in
with your
little
temple
bit.
size.
Yeah, go.
It's not the size of the temple; it's how you use it.
Oh yes, you do have a problem
And
with the
I
size of your temple.
confirm.
Ollie, did you put any dots into your tomb?
I think I did. I'll just double check my.
Because if you put some dots into your tomb...
I know.
No. Shit temple man has to deal with being a shit temple man.
Well, that's actually what I'm trying to lead into, because...
So I have 2 dots in temple.
Two.
Temple still.
Cool. Whereabouts are they distributed? Oh, actually, I've got your sheet nowadays, don't I?
I need to give you my new sheet, which actually has, I think, everything in it now. So I need to give you my new one.
Oh, Christ, yours is the one with the tiny font.
Yeah,
I need to give you my new sheet, which specifically states I have the biggest, best temple out of anybody.
I think he spent all his dots on cult, but yes, he could have just spent everything on tomb.
No. I'm spending. He just wrote it down in big letters.
Basically, what I was trying to lead into, Ollie, was now might be the time to work on starting to... Because you don't have to put much effort into activating your merits, but you do have to do something towards them.
Yes. I mean, so...
That is what I am doing. For the record, I am gathering their knowledge, finding out what's good and what's shit, and then having them correct it, and starting to build my cult.
Fair. Okay.
My 4-dot cult, that I haven't actually spent any points in the cult itself yet.
I have a 3-dot cult, but I pretty much spent all of my 10 free starting merits on cult things.
Wait, hold a sec. I don't think you get 10 free starting merits.
No, you get 10 free starting merit points to put between various merits you have, and then you get another 7 for cults.
Okay. Hang about. I'm just going to double check your cult merits, because this is a lot of merits you have here, Ollie, and I'm suspicious that we may have got something slightly wrong.
If you look in the cult section of creating cults, it says you just get 7 points for creating cults.
I see that. My suspicion is that you may have just put down things that cost more than 1 dot per.
I think I checked, and everything I think everything I checked, you can have, there's a 1 dot version of it, I think.
Okay.
Apart from the cult skill itself, which I upgraded twice, from its base 1-3, and the tomb, which I upgraded once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I actually still need to get 2 more dots, because you get 10. Right? You're starting. Yes, but I didn't have any space left for...
Why are you not using the 4-person shit? God damn it.
You send it over to me, and I'll
sent it. I've sent it to you so many times, Ollie.
I don't think... maybe once? Maybe?
It was in the Discord when we were doing ChargeN, like, at least twice.
So this is the one I got from Discord from ChargeN.
Yeah, I remember there was another one 5 minutes after that, Ollie.
Yeah,
there were like 3 or 4 separate sheets in there.
That might have been my fault.
Okay, it does look like you can... Like you have taken things at correct dot.
Yeah. It was fairly certain. I checked everything before I did it.
So you've got a grasp of 3. What is your cult's reach?
Reach is set to 3 as well, because I am a enterprise type, so I start with 2 reach. So I upgraded my grasp twice, and I think there was something else that gave me a +1. If not, then I have enough points left over to spend another point in cult to get to reach. I think maybe I start with 3. I start with 3 reach as an enterprise. I only have 1 grasp, so I upgraded my cult twice to get +2 grasp.
Yeah.
You start with 2 reach as an enterprise.
It says 3. It says 1, and then it says, and from what I could interpret from the rules, it said you start, like your base cult starts with 1, and then you get +2 to that as an enterprise.
Oh,
that's how I interpret it anyway.
I took it the other way.
I mean, to be fair, I thought it was the other way first, but then I did another reread, and I was like, it seems more like it's the other way.
Fair enough.
But that's the problem with these White Wolf fucking game lines. The rule
Fake
system.
language.
Yeah, it sometimes they're too wordy for their own good.
How dare you?
Am I wrong?
Sorry, what did you say? You were an enterprise.
Yes.
Yeah, an enterprise starts with +2 reach, so it would be 1 grasp, 3 reach, starting from enterprise before dividing any other merits.
Yeah. So I added then +2 dots onto my cult to get +2 grasp.
Okay, yeah. So I think I see what's happened here, and then rather than put any of the merit dots into yourself, you've just specialized everything into making your future cult.
So I put some merit dots into myself. That's why there's 4 dots in Tenacious Eternity Reborn, and there's 3 dots in Guild Paragon, 1 extra dot in Tomb, and 2 extra dots in Cult. You get 7 dots to spend for your cult, which are on top of the 10 you get at charge end for yourself.
Wait.
You do?
No, sorry, backing up. I don't know if you... or your character's... Yeah, I don't know if you can take Tenacious Eternity.
I think Reborn was the version I could. I think.
No, because you're not born. You're already immortal, Ollie. Why are you taking a secondary form of immortality?
I think it was a memory thing, though. It was a memory thing.
No, Reborn is all attempts to supernaturally move or alter your character's memory suffer a -3 penalty. You are the exact opposite of that. Your memory is inherently supernaturally fucked and attempts to unfuck. That's a separate supernatural splat type, basically.
Okay, in which case I just misread that, so I'll spend those 4 points on something else.
I think I remember discussing this with either Katya or Nikki, and some of the supernatural ones are weird, where you're, they're not for you guys, basically. If it was for you, if it was going to be any of them, it would be eternal, and I don't think it's... I
thought, if I remember rightly, Tenacious Eternity isn't under the supernatural powers section, is it? It's under the ones that I can take. Because there's 2 sections, right? There's the supernatural section, which is for mortals.
Fair.
Only.
Okay, so of the subcategories of that merit, basically, the one that would apply to you is Eternal, not Reborn. Reborns are a type of immortal. So a Reborn is reincarnation. It's someone who's born and then, as they grow up, starts to remember all their previous lives.
Okay, that's kind of where I was going with it, though. I thought my interpretation of mummies was...
you're not a Reborn, I'm afraid.
Okay, fair. My assumption was that you wake up as a mummy and you start getting your memories back.
No, it's referring to a very specific type of immortal that is located 5+ chapters down in the book.
Okay, fair. No worries, then. I can change that.
One immortality, yes, but what about a second?
It's weird though, because it is in the standard timeless merits. These merits are only available to mummies and other immortal entities, so it is available to mummies. Is Tenacious Eternity?
It definitely means eternal then.
Look, it wouldn't be a white.
See. Okay, I get it.
You're not wrong though. It's weird because it lists 5 possible combinations, and of those 4 aren't mummies, and it's in the mummy only section. It could have been better placed.
That's what I get it now. It's not choose one of them. It's you are one of them, and you get this. Okay, I get you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a World of Darkness book if it didn't have dumb editing fuck ups.
So Ollie has Guild Paragon is the only thing he bought for himself, basically.
Pretty much, apart from the dots and Tomb. I'll just get a new merit then instead of what's its face? Yeah.
Fair. Right, cool. So, where do we leave off then before we got off on that whole sidetrack? That was...
You were implying this was a good time for me to start building the base of my cult.
Well, rather than just sitting around in the garden till morning.
So, I guess I'm going to find the library.
Unfortunately, there
isn't one.
Yeah, there isn't one. Adiris is already beating you to it.
What a dick.
Thanks.
Then I want to find the scribes.
That Adiris is beating you to that too, pretty much.
It is a temple town. There are going to be a lot of scribes. However, it's also after dark, and candles are expensive if they've even been invented yet. The scribes are very definitely asleep.
I would like to wander around whatever counts as, I guess...
Candles have
I
not
guess,
been
like,
invented. So, yeah, no, the scribes work in daylight only.
construction, like the workers' district, I suppose. And I want to see I'm curious to see what new innovations have arisen, in the last, 1,500 years or so. I want to see what new technologies have been developed, and I suppose the best way to do that is to first go to the sort of market district potentially, or the guild districts, and then look at the ports as well.
Okay. The sheet. I will take. Did we say crafts or academics was your architecture?
I'm architecture. Remember, I'm more just general making of things. So I guess it still would be crafts, but I also put academics as like a crafts though is fine. I got science though. I have like science as a mental skill, and my thinking was I'm mostly coming at the end, later down the line to make the thing. I'm more the guy who does like the last tweaks. So I guess I want to science it up. I want to see if I can ascertain the technological progress or regress from my time based on what I can see around me in the various guild districts, if there are any. And if failing that, the ports.
Okay. I am going to say we will call it science intelligence, please.
Sure thing.
I'm going to give you +1 pool mod.
So, science. So, 70-10.
I've lost Sophie from Cam, but I've got Ollie.
A worthy
Run
trade.
because I'm munching.
It's net 2 successes. So, the director, as you wander around town, leaving the temple, and aware that you do not feel at all sleepy, you come across the workman's district, the section of the town most dedicated to making things. It is a temple town. They do actively put up temples, and even though, unbeknownst to you, their golden age for that is long lost to them, they do still do it. And consequently, there are still tools scattered about. There are still half-finished works on statues and talismans, masonry being prepared before it's moved out to the site of newly constructed, or it's moved out to the site of temples currently undergoing fresh construction. On 2 successes, you are not particularly impressed. It's not perhaps the worst regression. Your society was one of weird opposites. On the one hand, you were incredibly advanced from a magic technology standpoint. On the other hand, you were still technically a Bronze Age culture, and their houses, though worse to you because they're not built in line with the principles of sacred geography, are not necessarily that much worse. Geometry, are not necessarily that much worse than the slum houses of your day. However, where you pass them, one notable feature does catch your eyes. They are rare in Abju, fortunately for you. But the obelisks of the town. In your day, these were spines pointing down into the earth, down to the underworld. Now, since you've talked to the priests, you've discovered that they are considered to be pillars pointing up towards the divine heavens. But as you walk past them and eye them, you feel them almost seem to tug, somewhat unpleasantly, the field of Sekhem in and around your body. They may have lost their original purpose, but these pillars were built with the inversion of that purpose in mind. They seem to channel your Sekhem in a way that is decidedly unpleasant. Getting too close to them is not necessarily a painful experience, but it is an upsetting one. Sort of
I wish to...
Sorry?
I was going to say, I wish to investigate further.
Yeah, I will take the same roll again, but I will give you, I guess, -1 pull mod this time. For
Is that back down to 6 or back down to 5?
back down to 5.
Okay, so I start at 6. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
5
so it's giving you -1 instead
Yep.
of +1, so it's net -2 compared to last time.
That's all 5d10. No successes.
Fair. No successes. Yeah, the obelisks here are not that large, and some of them don't even feel profane at all to you. You feel like you might need to speak to someone or else investigate somewhere with a decidedly more solar cult. One thing you will at least say for Abju is, if this is what most places are like, then the damage is maybe not as bad as you'd feared. A good deal of these temples are certainly funeral temples or mortuary complexes. There's a lot of underworld theming here. Meanwhile, did the Neptes have anything they wanted to be doing?
I don't know. Do you want to go sample whatever passes for nightlife in this post-Irem hellscape?
I guess I will. I'm mad because I've woken up and no one's given me a drink, and the service here has been terrible. And I've woken up with random people and I don't even know who they are, and they've just been rude the whole time.
I think we did manage introductions whilst you were Schlort, so you would know Adiris' name.
I know who they are. I don't care.
She just doesn't care, yeah.
Fair, okay, it was just a point of clarification. So the two of you were strolling off to go and find yourselves a little tavern, in the hopes that if anywhere is going to be still awake this time of night,
I need the bathroom. I shall be right back.
it'll be Nikki's bathroom, apparently.
Oh shit, nice. I've heard of that tavern.
Yay,
Yes.
my bathroom's famous.
No, I'm not going any further with this joke. It's going to get weird. With your finely attuned senses, it doesn't take too long for the two of you to find one of a bare smattering of buildings. It's still emitting some noise. A quiet, sleepy little inn. There's perhaps a dozen or so humans inside.
We care about food and drink, I guess? No.
You don't need it, but you can take it, and it does taste nice to you. I don't think you can get drunk, per se, but you can still appreciate alcohol.
Doesn't mean we can't try.
We can enjoy it, but it is unnecessary.
Exactly. They are drinking beer, which has been invented. They have a small hearth, which is lighting the room up somewhat. It's quite glowing quite dimly, and there's perhaps a dozen and a half people in there, plus the innkeep themselves. It's not what you would consider your traditional fantasy tavern. It's more like a bench outside with two drunken old men on it, and then inside a cluster of stools, each of them placed around one of two or three roundish. Now, wood's going to be at a premium, so they're not even drinking at tables. They're presumably sat on straw mats with a sort of like small, almost like coffee table situation between them. Handleless mugs, potentially hollowed from stone, maybe made out of wood.
Out of curiosity, how does this compare to Irem?
It's as was found with the houses. It's not necessarily unfamiliar to you, but it sort of looks like someone took the shoddier elements from your culture and then took the quality down by maybe 10-20%. So
This is foul.
Okay, exactly. So it's not the refined drinking houses, but the uppermost elements of society, which I guess would have included you guys, would have been able to access.
Who runs this place? Where are they?
Whoever has the biggest hat, presumably.
The hat. in a tavern. If you could even call this a tavern. Excuse me! And I snap my fingers and it's like, who's in charge? Could we get some service?
Do either of you have amanuensis?
What is that?
No.
The affinity that lets you understand any given language, and indeed speak it.
No!
No.
I'm just blathering on in whatever language I have.
You speak Iramite.
Nice.
Iramite.
So that's going to be some Sybaris rolls for these folks. You are no longer at your maximum second, but you're still at second 9, which means a bunch of auto fails for them. Sophie, what's your cult merit situation like? In fact, both of you, Neptes collectively.
I have 4 dots in cult.
Fair.
I have more than that, but I didn't spend them in specific things. I was going to before this session, but then stuff happened.
Yes.
Right. Let's have a look. Okay, in that case, Sophie, what is your cult divided up into?
Aha! I am in the same situation.
Okay.
I have meant to sort it out.
No one's getting a cult then. I'm going to wind up. Wait, let me have a look. Yeah, so you guys don't have your
I'm
cult.
sorry.
Oh, doesn't have his
I know
cult.
it's been way overdue.
Do we have?
I've started the basics of my cult, but I've not actually spent all the merits in it yet.
Nikki has her reach and grasp down at least.
Oh shit, mine seems to actually have wiped what I put on. That's bad.
And then Ollie. Oh yeah, Ollie obviously doesn't.
Yeah, I've got my-
Ollie
I've got
does
my-
have his stuff set up actually.
Yeah, I do. I've been saying this.
Yeah. Okay.
Why do you think I was saying I was the enterprise type with a reach of 3 and a grasp of 3 and all my fucking merit?
You know, you're not wrong. You did spend all of your merits on buffing your cult. Your
Yeah, it's a
character
cool
sheet
stuff.
may only be. You may have a small person character sheet, but it's what you do with it.
Exactly. It's not the size of the character sheet, it's how you use it.
Yeah, maybe everyone else's character sheets are literally 4 times the length of your character sheet, but yours has quality.
I've downloaded the 4-page one. I'll start
You
moving
don't
my
need to enhance your character sheet for our benefit, Ollie. We love you how you are.
And you know what? The fact that I've managed to have a more complete cult than anyone else with 4 times less character sheet, really, it speaks volumes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
does it say? It might be speaking, but what does it say?
It says Ollie prepared better for the session than the other 3 of you.
Yes, it does. Let's go carry on.
I mean, technically Nikki as well, but Nikki does have her reach and grasp set up, so, you know, cult merits are neither here nor there.
I'm an enterprise. I have reach and grasp in there.
Look, the Neptes
I
are
have my
the
doctrines in there.
Okay, so the
fuck-ups,
Neptes,
so
what is your plan in this tavern then? You are rapidly afflicting everyone in here with Sybaris, and neither of you speak the language.
I wanted service and for them to tidy up a bit.
That was kind of what I was going for as well.
What?
So, you know.
That is probably mimeable as you walk up to there's not really a counter so much. Do they have kegs? Okay, I'm going to go with ye olde Pharaoh 1 graphical implementation and choose to assume they have like a vertical clay pot and then you like scoop a cup into it for beer. And there is a guy stood near-ish to a couple of those at the back who, his jaw trembling as you approach, hands each of you a cup in a very 1990s beer advert type way and gingerly lifts the lid off of his closest pot of beer.
How does it smell?
Terrible.
Somewhat sandy. Also incredibly strongly of hops. The alcohol content is not particularly high. That said, this is commercial alcohol rather than necessarily home drinking alcohol. So you can probably smell it at least a little bit, especially with your hyper-vivid senses.
Okay. Has he given us a drink?
He's given you the cups.
I return.
He's given you the cups, and he's lifted the lid off the thing, and it's just kind of like quietly waiting there for you to self-serve, basically.
Oh.
Oh.
trembling.
I do not understand this concept of self-serving.
Well, I would say you would be aware.
No.
I get the concept of self-serving. I do not think it applies to me.
Alright, so you do understand the concept, you're just rejecting it.
Yes. I'm being a butt.
You're being a Karen.
Let's see, let's have a look.
I sigh gratuitously and I hand the cup back to him and I'm like mimicking like, do it for me, basically. Like, go on, scoop that bitch up.
Alright, I'm just gonna have a speedy look at your affinities real quick. I wanna double check something.
I'm just going looking at a girl's affinities. Oh my.
Damn it.
Please serve some beer first.
You know what they say. You can always look at someone's affinities, but you should never look at someone's infinities. It's just rude.
What the hell are you
Probably.
talking about?
Probably a good policy.
Showing everyone your infinities.
Sophie.
You're like 5 minutes in, check out my infinities.
It does sound like you, to be
Do
honest.
as I say, not
Just-
as I do, okay?
Just stop sending me unsolicited affinity pics, okay?
What the fuck is happening here? I was just trying to look something up in the rulebook, and
It's all turned to chaos as quickly as it started.
Okay. Right. Sorry, I was just checking through all of Sophie's affinities, just to see if there's anything that could help her here. In one of these, towering perspective, as an intimidating tyrant, she sees bonds of allegiance and possesses an iron grasp over petty notions such as free will or perspective. Adds her Kar rating to intimidation and politics rolls, and by spending a willpower point, senses the highest rated allies, contacts, and status merits of a single target she can see. That's just the Karen power.
Yes, it is. Isn't it amazing?
Furthermore, she can spend a willpower point to increase her apparent size for the remainder of the scene by up to twice her Kar rating.
Yeah,
wait,
bro.
what?
Me, I am now Titana-Karen.
I am Mecha Karen.
Let's take a look and see what's the
Tell me the truth, or I take your tongue.
Well,
Call me Kar-zilla.
Well, her Kar rating is 4, so yes, she can increase her size by up to
Oh
plus
my
8.
god, it's the Karen power.
No.
It's the Karen. Come
Okay.
on.
If this campaign doesn't somehow end in Kaiju Karen, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
You know what? Be disappointed in Sophie, because it'd be entirely up to her if this doesn't happen, and I will blame her. So
Well,
that's
a lot of pressure.
Karen.
Sorry,
I'll
I know
be
this is a massive sidetrack. I just really want to see what that size would be. Because apparently, like, a human with gigantism is size 6, and Sophie can add up to plus 8.
Plus 8.
Well, it's apparent, to be fair, so she doesn't actually become that, she just looks like that to people.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but it's plus 8, as in
Yeah.
she would be
The
plus 8.
size that
Up
matters,
to
and it
plus
isn't
8.
how you use it.
I mean, that does make you, like, probably small tomb-sized at plus
Yeah.
8.
I'm fucking hyped.
I'm just saying, if by like session 10 we haven't seen like Kaiju Karen towering over Ibu Hedge and yelling about talking to the manager, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be
Oh my god,
disappointed.
it works as well with Kaiju. It's Kaiju Karen. It all comes off the fucking Ka power. Or
And-
pillar, or whatever.
And I will be disappointed in Ollie.
Why? Why are we disappointed in
I don't know.
Generally.
I'm just putting this responsibility on you. It's up to you now. Make it happen.
But it's Sophie's power.
I don't care.
Ah, Sophie, be Kaiju Karen once, okay?
Not feeling it today.
I don't care, I suppose, actually, enough to fight this.
Okay, it doesn't actually go up as high as you'd think, so she can increase up to about the size of an SUV.
Perfect. SUV Karen.
I mean, they do drive him. Saying them Chelsea tractors don't drive themselves.
How does that work? Because SUVs aren't actually that much taller than people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The size chart I found is a little bit weird, honestly. I guess it's mass equivalent, so it's a sort of transformer affair.
Boop, 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 boop.
Big,
No,
basically. She does big. Like, the animal scale I've found goes from, like, human at size 5, gorilla size 6, grizzly bear size 7, and then sports car is size 10. I think it's doing volume.
But I would argue a grizzly bear is roughly the same size. Like a big
I
grizzly.
think so. Yeah, you know what? Let's spin on from massive Giga Chad Sophie.
Oh, no.
So the two of you successfully harass the poor patrons for some time, forcing the proprietor of the local inn to serve you drinks, and by the end of it, you've all but got the locals waiting on you in there, hand and foot, confused and desperately attempting to snap to everything you direct them, even as they completely fail to understand your language.
Good.
Well, this was lovely. Brunch tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Now we got this disheveled place into somewhat of an order.
Yes, sitting next to you, Neferet Nebti has done absolutely nothing to clean the place up, despite having supernatural gifts on that front. And I think that means that the person who's been the most left out so far is Adiris. Adiris, it'll be some time before every scroll can be gathered for you. So what do you want to be doing? You are unsupervised within the High Temple, and I guess shortly after you got back, everyone else had kind of buggered off, other than the the other Markep, who'd already buggered off.
Can I find anything to write on and with?
Certainly. Papyrus and a quill's probably findable fairly easily.
Wonderful. In that case, I shall go over the markings in the temple, the iconography, anything that depicts anything, and note down what's wrong and what needs to be corrected.
Cool. I will take a speedy intelligence investigation, please.
Sure.
So net
2, 3
successes, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, what are your utterances?
Dreams of Dread Gods, Palace Knows Its Pharaoh, and Power of Re. Power of Re?
Cool. Pick one, or, pick one.
Let me remind myself what they all do real quick.
Palace Knows Its Pharaoh is, like...
controlling the building.
Yeah, controlling your building. Controlling buildings, but specifically your tomb, but it does work on other buildings. Dreams of Dead Gods is for building your cult, including in death. And what was the final one? Something to do with Re?
Power of Re.
I don't remember that one specifically, but it'll be something, probably sunlight, ancient Egyptian laser beams, maybe a battle form.
Let me check.
Okay, I'm going to check that now.
I've pulled up the wrong book.
Night vision for tier 1.
Oh, yeah.
Haha! Ancient Egyptian laser beams! Called it!
Of course, how obvious.
Oh, yeah. I get night vision and then I can just make people burn with golden flame.
Ancient Egyptian laser vision.
Wait, does this make you Cyclops?
It makes you... Yeah,
no, I'm cool.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, that's a risky power to take.
It's Yami Yugi, goddammit.
I don't know what that is.
Literally the third most profitable anime sound.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh's.
I kind of assumed from the U in there, but...
Okay, and then Power Over Flame, some more stuff. And then Binaric Screech.
That's a different game line.
No, this is just Binaric Screech.
What?
Binaric Screech, but it lets you explode people's eyes, including ghosts. In fact, especially ghosts.
Nice.
Oh, whoa, Sophie appeared.
Wait, I'm sorry. Binary Screech? Where was that?
It's the tier 3 power.
Oh, yeah. I can't get that. I don't have the correct pillars.
You know what?
You only need shoot 2. Oh, no, not even shoot 2.
Yeah, to get tier 3, you need shoot 2 and ab 4.
No, remember, so those are the bonus, to unlock the bonus things. In order to get tier 1 and tier 2, you just buy the utterance, and the... oh my god, it's a curse one as well. That means you can do this reflexively if you die, for free. Sorry, yeah, so the way the tiers work is you have access to all 3 tiers, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, but if you also fulfill the requirements, then you can use the like extra stuff. So where it says, and if you have shoot 2, then you get to do this cool shit as well. So the example I use, remember, is for Sophie, that one she has where she can turn people's tongues into scorpions if they lie. The bit where, and then she can make the scorpions into pets and they follow her around. That is a bonus thing for having the correct amount of...
Have you missed my tongue?
I completely misunderstood that when I was allocating my pillars.
The only thing...
Because I specifically did it so that I could get tier 3 of Palisnosis Pharaoh.
Well, I mean, it gives you the bonus for that, so it's still useful. The only thing that you need... the only thing that's required for tier 3 of these is you spend 1 pillar point from any category and 1 pillar point from the listed category. So you still have access to tier 3 of Re as long as you have at least 1 pillar of Ab.
Right, okay, I understand that now.
Cool.
I will... Power of Re is the dark vision one, isn't it?
Yeah, Power of Re is dark vision, lasers, fire control, and binary screech.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. And it has the curse subtype, which means you can reflexively do it when you die, because everyone gets the mummy death curse.
Nice. Palace has curse at tier 2 as well. All of mine have curse.
I've never heard someone get... No, that's a lie. I was going to say I've never heard someone so excited to die, but...
It's like a suicide bomber.
How many Gen Zers do you know?
All of them.
So, as you begin to walk around the walls of the temple, Adiris... In fact, do you have amanuensis?
Yep.
Yeah, so you not only understand these walls, the hieroglyphics, the patterns, but you begin to recognize something, a slight feeling, tugging at the energy that emanates from within you. There's magic bound here, spells half scratched into the rock, an intuitive understanding encased, either deliberately or by accident, in the very being of the temple itself. And as you lay the groundwork for founding a revitalized version of Irem's true religion, you also feel something strange and terrible happening within you. You have unlocked your first utterance. You may now use
the power of Re.
The power of Re indiscriminately. All it costs you is whatever pillar points are required. The process of learning this has drained that small amount of magic and understanding out of the temple, which means other people...
Get fucked, losers!
Yep, exactly so. First come,
the first
first
resource
serve.
cache. Rude.
Well, maybe you should learn to read instead of bitching at people.
I heard that. Don't think I didn't hear that.
Gonna be, it wasn't actually intentional.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, come on, you know I would brag if it was intentional.
The hyphenated E and P. So.
No, it was just emphasizing that I'm better. That's all.
4 groups of you, 3 solos and 2 coupled up, proceed around Abju for much of the rest of the night. Adiris, learning secrets scratched into temple walls by unknown hands, and clearly master spellcasters. The Nebtes, harassing the locals and drinking. The director, seeing something sinister in this solar cult that's taken over Kennet. And Anakh Sun-Amun, gathering some level of intelligence on the locals, how they operate, and what society is like in these strange modern times. When morning comes, at the very break of dawn, most of you are meeting up at the docks. I will say, Adiris, the first sort of tranche of scrolls has arrived back at the temple, and it is a veritable horde of rolls of papyrus. You are also aware that you were... I don't think you'd formally agreed it, but we'll say that it was done retroactively. You are vaguely supposed to meet your compatriots at the docks for the boat downriver.
Oh, I suppose I shall go.
Oh, I guess real quick for Sophie's benefit, I don't know how good you are with Egyptian geography, but Upper Egypt is at the bottom and Lower Egypt is at the top because they order the country's direction from which way the river flows.
Yeah.
So...
Will I have had time to go through the scrolls and make my notes as to what to correct?
So a good deal of these scrolls are completely irrelevant to you, but certainly for beliefs scratched on the temple walls, yes. There's a good deal of the cult here that seems somewhat suitable. There's an old god whose name is...
Face.
What?
Oh, face.
No.
It could be an Egyptian god.
Oh, face.
I was like, where's the goddamn thing? Knew I should have written this down.
Konsu.
It's not Konsu.
Oh,
okay. So, the temple you are currently in is dedicated to a chthonic god, an underworld god, called Kinti Amentu. And there are elements of both this god's story and Ree's new story that remind you of Azar, the rightful god-king of Irem, the sort of pharaoh for the gods. The locals would call him Osiris in these strange times. So yeah, you've basically got a pretty decent grasp. If you were staying for a little while longer, you feel you could probably put this into action relatively quickly, but you're also fairly certain that they will just boat off without you.
Okay, I'll leave any notes that I have with them in order to start acting upon them, and I would disappear up to the docks.
The head priest bows and scrapes as he gratefully takes your notes, eyes growing wide as he begins to read through them.
See to it that this is corrected. If I should return and it is like this, I will not be pleased.
The scrolls, my lord?
Have them checked against what I've written. If anything is appropriate, do the same. Otherwise, make sure they are easily accessible to me and to anybody else who should wish to learn from them.
He's deeply confused, but he's going to do his best. He was just getting all of the scrolls, so there's a lot of them that are completely irrelevant to even, these high-level religious matters.
Oh yeah. We value all knowledge, not just religion.
And with that, you hie yourself down to the docks. The other four are there already, standing in front of a reed boat.
Congratulations.
The face palm. I can hear the face palm.
To the wanker's corner. Banish yourself.
It's what they are called? God damn it.
I just want to get a screenshot of you banishing yourself to the wanker's corner.
So,
After.
standing in front of a boat made from riverside grasses I was going to ask for a little, like, how are people comporting themselves? What's happening here? But no, fuck you all.
Joke! You did it!
Typical power-grabbing GM, just all about their power trip.
2 or 3 terrified boatsmen are prepared to drive you down towards Lower Egypt and the capital at Inbu Hedge. They're confused as to why they've been asked to transport these living gods away from here, and indeed why you're taking their humble boat, which was the first that could be made available.
Alright, what are we waiting for? Irem and answers await.
Who got the boat organised?
I did.
Wait, no, the priest did. You just demanded a boat.
Yeah, and if I hadn't, then there wouldn't be a boat there.
You have not gotten a better vessel for us.
Talk to the priest, not myself. He's the one who organised it.
Yes, but you organised that, didn't you? So you are the one responsible? And I don't
know-
really feel like
I
this is
don't
up to
know
the
the
quality that befits all of us. Does it?
The priest's
So I'm holding
machination.
you personally accountable.
Then I will also hold you personally accountable for not clearly finding a better boat. You saw this.
This was
you
your
could have-
responsibility. You said it was your problem.
I said I organised the boat, not that it was my
Yes, so this is
responsibility.
your problem.
No. It's everyone's problem.
Sisters,
Now,
brother.
It's
I trust
quaint.
you've had a pleasant night.
A wonderful night, thank you.
I did. It was rather enjoyable seeing all the
Shall we
technology.
depart and get on with setting the civilization back onto the course it should be?
It's
I would
rustic
like-
and quaint.
I'm going to get on the boat.
The Marquep sort of herds the rest of you onto the boat. Other than, I'm guessing, the other Marquep, who has probably already quietly sat there.
Probably just waiting for us.
I would like us when I get on the boat to and we get underway, start terrifying the sailors into
They
seeing
are
if there's any
Already
interesting-
terrified. What is it you're wanting to do here? Because there is a
If I-
not
I was
insignificant
continuing-
chance they'll die.
I was continuing. I wanted to see understand the technology of boats of their time. You know, I want to see what they know about boats.
Look, we need them to be functional until we get where we're going. Then you can harass them all you want.
That's why I said I'll wait until we're on the way, and then I'm going to see what the deal with boats
Okay.
is around here.
You see how that's worse?
Yeah, you said on the way, and that's what I'm saying as well.
Which of the 2 Marquep will be doing the interpreting for you?
Whichever one would like to.
I shall do it since our other one does not speak.
Much appreciated.
She's spoken twice?
Three
Twice.
times.
3 times.
Sorry, what are Marquettes?
The secret police. It's the guild. So remember that I'm saying it mostly to try and get it in my head. So we have the 2
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm
secret
Sasha
police.
Hepsu, I'm not Marquette.
What? Did you
Hmm.
change on the thing?
No, I was always Sasha Hepsu.
Yeah, you were.
We both follow the flame, but I went with Sasha.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were Marquep.
That's right.
Were you a Marquep in your initial iteration, then we changed it?
Possibly.
Okay, so we have 3 Sesha Hebsu, a Marquep, and a Messin Nabu.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember now. Sorry, I
You'll
just
be messing
didn't
with
remember
me
the comments.
or Messa Naboo.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so that's 1 secret police. Right. Okay, so we've got 1 secret police, 3 scholars, and an alchemist.
Huh?
No one likes the necromancers. No one likes the masons. Okay.
It was just the most appropriate to my character concept.
No, it's completely fine. So in that case, the boat sets off down the river, your 3 terrified mortals gently paddling you away. It's not long before the director decides that enough time has passed, and, marshalling Adiris, heads up to the front of the boat to bother the least busy looking of the crew.
Yeah, I'd like to just get a general grasp of what their boat technology is like, how fast their fastest boat this man has ever seen has moved, how silently it parts the waves.
Hmm.
I need to step away for a minute. Assume I'm looking for a hippo or something.
I will need to step away in a minute just so I can grab a pizza. But I'll be like 30 seconds to a minute max.
Director, in that case, there's going to be nothing lost in translation unless
I'm deciding whether or not to translate.
I was going to say unless
or to just
Adiris
change my mind and I'll have a completely different conversation.
Yeah, that basically, unless Adiris wants to screw you over, because he does have complete command of Old Egyptian and all technical boat-based lingo, which means he can translate for you entirely accurately. You'd basically just roll it yourself. Adiris, what are we doing?
I will actually be accurate on my translations because I am interested in this information as well.
Okay, in that case, Ollie, what do you want to roll?
I shall not relay it accurately, though. No, I have to, actually. Never mind.
I think I'll go for academics over intelligence. Or... yeah, I think I'll go for academic over intelligence. Or maybe because it's wits. Would that be better if I'm trying to figure out something?
I guess in this instance... yeah, let's take wits. No, we'll do intelligence.
Okay. Okay, no worries. What's the pool mod? Any?
I'm probably gonna say... I think we'll do a -1 because he's not having a good time. It's a very overwhelming experience.
2 successes. I'm just going to really quickly grab my pizza, actually. So,
which means at the back of the boat, Kamare Nebti and Anakh Sun-Amun. What are we doing?
A nice boat?
Not a particularly nice boat. It's made chiefly of riverside grasses, sewn up into long bunches, and then those bunches tied together. It keeps you afloat, but you're very much aware that it would be extremely vulnerable to hippos, crocodiles, or really even just another boat. It takes you further and further down the river. But it's not exactly a pleasant ride. The boat is choppy, even though the river is not.
See, I can't believe the director couldn't get us a better boat. Does he not know who any of us are?
Anakh Sun-Amun just kind of dabbles her fingers in the water slightly and just shrugs.
Are you?
Oh, the director's at the front of the boat. He's
talking about you, not to you.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say, sir?
Does it not bother you?
Anakh Sun-Amun glances up very briefly and shakes her head. Says, no, not really.
Well, it bothers me, and I'm going to list every single way it bothers me, and then I'm just going to complain about every single aspect of the boat.
Oh my god.
Generally, Anakh Sun-Amun, you make a good mental record of the people and places you encounter, I think. You strike me as someone who has almost a file on everything they've been through in life. I feel like
she kind of has like a mental palace before mental palaces became a thing. At this point, because of her position pre-life, she kind of has not an eidetic memory, but a very, very good memory for people, for information, and committing and linking the two of them.
For facts. And whilst I think that would generally be something that's an ongoing process, more or less forever, I strongly suspect that the book of facts concerning Kamare Nebti was closed within minutes of meeting her. Really everything there is just about self-evident.
Yeah, pretty much.
At the front
Can
of the
be
boat.
summed up in a single hieroglyph.
Just a small picture of a man defecating on another man's face. No, I don't know hieroglyphics. So, at the front of the boat...
picture of a woman wagging a finger at a man.
At the front of the boat, the director is quizzing via Adiris one of the crew. The man has honestly actually fairly little to say of interest, director. He's chiefly a sailor. In fact, this guy says his main duty is animal watch, to keep an eye out for the dangerous creatures of the Nile. He's not a shipwright by any length of the imagination, and unfortunately neither are the other two crew. Nevertheless, you are not impressed if this is the highest standard that their ships can bring to bear. This is a fragile, feral thing. You wouldn't even consider it suitable for hauling cargo. It is, strictly speaking, by no means a bad ship. Your standards are just significantly higher. Meanwhile, by herself, Neferet Nebti sat at the side of the boat, arms hanging over, locks eyes with something under the water.
Well, that didn't take long.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Let's
Cat
look it
is
up.
getting a hippo.
Beast companion. Okay, so you instinctively know that you need to touch that thing. That pair of eyes under the water.
Fuck yeah. Touch the thing.
So you're going to launch yourself out of the boat at the thing.
Do I have to?
It's quite far out.
How fast is the...
How fast is the boat?
Yeah.
It's going at a fair old pace at the moment.
Not as fast as a hippo if it wants to go.
That's true. Yeah, fuck it. I jump in. Let's get the thing under the water.
Anakh Sun-Amun, you've been listening to this diatribe for about 8 minutes. Unfortunately, Camera Nebti doesn't need to breathe and consequently literally never stops. You're not entirely sure that the woman's heard of punctuation. Fortunately, the diatribe is at least briefly interrupted by the sound of Neferet Nebti throwing herself overboard and diving under the water, swimming away from the boat, and towards a large patch of riverside grass.
I'm just going to watch.
Quietly rotate in your seat. Watch Neferet Nebti behind. Ignore Camara's ongoing spiel.
Look, sometimes you just have to touch the dangerous-looking thing in the water. Like, come on.
A policy that served you extremely poorly in life, but this time it'll be different. You just know it. As you hurl yourself through the water, coming closer and closer to that set of submerged eyes, you realize that this is a hippo, the single most dangerous, conceivable thing in the natural world.
Yeah. The biggest, friendliest, cuddliest thing you can find, right?
It is. After you
It's
wrap
about to
your
be.
arms around its head and bring your nose to its nose, the two of you gently hugging under the water. You feel a warmth diffuse out of you and suffuse the hippo. And just like that, you know you've made a friend for life.
Aww.
Specifically the hippo's life.
You got
Appropriate
friends with me.
Best thing I ever got jumping off a boat into potentially deadly waters.
The rest of your little meritive mummies have not even stopped the boat. One of them paid some attention. The rest just kept going on.
Your hippo's probably faster than the boat, to be fair.
None of you know she's got a hippo.
I mean, I don't even know she's gone off the boat, honestly.
It's not that large.
I'm busy
a boat.
translating.
But yes, basically everyone else is either too self-absorbed to notice or too neutral to care. Welcoming the distraction.
Sweet.
What are we doing, Nebty number 1?
Can I climb on you, hippo friend?
Let's give the hippo a name. That's a good Egyptian name.
For a hippo?
Jeffrey.
Okay.
Archibald Worthington, the 27th.
I'm going to suggest... Senwosret.
Like it. Can't pronounce it. Perfect.
We could also take Seti if you prefer that.
No, Senwosret is perfect.
Okay, let me make a note so I don't forget what we call the hippo. In fact, I'll put it in Discord so you don't forget.
Great.
So, dubbing your new best friend for life, Senwosret, for your childhood dog, I guess. What is a hippo if not a water dog?
Ah, my childhood hippo.
You did not have a hippo as a child. Horses weren't domesticated in your day. Still aren't, actually. Let alone hippos.
Look, to me it was a hippo.
Well, I mean, if that's the way it's going to be, then you would have, I would have thought you would have called your dog Hippo, in which case the logical thing to do would be to call your hippo Dog.
Do it.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, kinda does.
Okay.
I see no possible downside.
Senwosret the hippo is dead. Long live Dog the hippo.
It's Dog the hippo!
You swing yourself onto the hippo's slippery back, and it takes off, moving at a fair old lick and fairly rapidly catching up with the boat.
Out of curiosity, like, my clean things off power, can I just use that, like, right as the hippo, like, breaks the surface to just shake the water out of my hair and my clothes? Just dramatically?
Yes, but remember they do, like, jog sprint underwater, so it's you're getting more of a dolphin treatment if dolphins had legs. It's more like up, but then down, then up, and then down, then up, and then down. So it keeps...
Yeah, because hippos don't actually swim, they just run real fast.
Exactly. If I remember correctly.
You do.
That said, that power doesn't have, like, a refractory period, so...
Yeah, exactly.
You can just keep
Every
doing
time you break the water, you're just bone dry.
What were you going to ask, Ollie?
Never mind, I'm finding conflicting info. My impression was hippos don't necessarily swim very well. They more sink and walk across the bottom of whatever.
Yeah, so it's not that it's swimming to keep up with you. It's charging underwater, and she doesn't need to breathe, so it's not an issue for her. And then leaping up, and then down, and then... So you have, like, every 30 seconds to a minute or so, Neferet Nebty breaks the water for a little bit, and then she's back under again.
That's glorious.
Well, it does, because she's applying her insta-cleanup powers to flick the water, because it doesn't disappear, right? So she's sort of shampoo advert flicking the water droplet by droplet all at once from her hair every time she crests the waves.
Beautiful. That's stylish. That's the sort of style you can't buy except with XP points.
Exactly. Like, you haven't lived until you've travelled hippo. Oh, I'm sorry, dog.
Dog.
The humans on board, including the terrified animal watcher, who should have been looking out for this type of thing but was distracted, seem upset, wowed, terrified. This is a strange situation for them.
I wish to try and calm them down by reassuring them that this is a common occurrence among real people, and they are not intending us harm at all.
Unfortunately for the record, they are also under the grip of the early stages of Sybaris, so they can't really be calmed down.
Oh well.
And attempts to get them to see you as ordinary people just make them view you as more divine. Not necessarily in a we must worship you way, but not in a we must worship you way.
No, they must worship me. I wasn't saying that we are ordinary people. I was saying that they are not people.
Look, if they behave themselves well, I'll let them take a turn on the hippo, like the last leg of the journey.
They don't want to.
If they behave themselves well, I won't set them on fire.
Hey, you got a license for that, hippo?
Unregistered hippo transport.
I'm gonna need to see your hippo license.
You've made a new friend.
The sun is high in the sky when something appears on the horizon. You've crossed a slight curve in the river, and mostly traffic has been light. Vanishingly little of it. You've passed a couple of minor boats, but they tend to steer away, some of them even beaching themselves, trying to avoid the monstrous hippo demon leaping alongside your boat. Nothing says, move, sorcerers coming along, get out of the way, like intermittent... What's the opposite of dive bombing? Yeah, intermittent hippo... surge cresting, yeah.
I can't remember your name. What's your character's name again? Katya? Yeah.
Neptis.
Neptis. How fast can your hippo go?
Haven't really tested the limits yet. I guess I'm saying between, like, disappearing and that wave. Going back up.
I haven't really.
You would all know
tested
that
it yet.
hippos can go fairly fast, but also it's been going like this for quite a while, so it's probably a fairly tired hippo.
Oh shit! Like I thought hippo would be like supernaturally, never get tired like me.
Double check. Okay, so it's immune.
I'm
to
sure with the
Siberys.
power it does get shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like you would. Like, if it's a bulletproof hippo, surely it's like perpetual motion hippo too.
Hang about.
The perpetual motion hippo.
Yeah.
Now presenting to you the professional motion hippo.
In our pen and papers, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
You most assuredly do not. Besides, technically,
when the Arisen spends pillar points to reinforce her attributes, she may choose to apply the same bonuses to the animal's attributes as well. So the hippo does not by default get any buffs to its stamina, but if you
it can if you give it to it.
Yeah, if you buff your stamina, then you can buff the hippo's stamina at the same time.
Ah.
So
yeah,
the hippo's tired.
How's dog feeling? He's tired. Okay.
Dog's doing fine. It's celebrating a fantastic new twist in its life, but it's quite tired right now. It's been running for a solid few hours.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Are we good to stop, or do you want to?
I was just going to suggest if your new friend is capable, maybe we have them pull the boat, and we might get there quicker.
I think they might need a rest.
This river travel is not what it once was.
Indeed, it is not. Although, quite frankly, I quite like this new style.
Dog grumbles to you telepathically.
Aw, dog. Alright, let's stop and get you some rest.
As mentioned, something has appeared on the horizon. Something with large sails. And I should probably give you a token for, like, the party, so we don't have to have all 5 tokens constantly. Where's my Egyptian sheet? Egyptians.
My Egyptian sheet. I hate when I lose my Egyptian sheet.
I hate when I lose my Egyptian shit as well.
That's a good Egyptian thing. Oh, hey, I've got boats!
Sweet.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Boats, motherfuckers, don't you ever
Just wanna see
forget.
what I've
I'm
got.
doing flips and I'm on another team to meet a FK. I'm the king of the now.
No, boat doesn't look too good. I'm instead giving you this hippo.
Yay!
I'm doing hits and I'm on another team to meet a FK.
So, the thing cresting the horizon, heading in the same direction as you, but you're catching up on it, is a particularly large and ornate barge.
I want it.
I will take a... Let me see what you need to roll for. I don't actually think you roll anything unless someone's got an affinity, which I don't know if they do. So...
What?
Sorry, I was almost talking to myself. Essentially, there is a large, rather ornate barge quite a ways up ahead from you. It has actual wooden sides, and they're clearly well painted, and from the shine, maybe even inlaid with gold. In addition to having many more oarsmen, it also has actual sails. Yours are not present, but they're not ideal.
They're disappointing in comparison.
Yeah, you didn't get like the shiniest boat. You got the first boat that could be made available with a crew to go down river to Lower Egypt as quickly as possible.
This does suggest they could have tried harder to make a better boat available.
Yeah, absolutely, but he wasn't told get the
Yeah,
nicest boat. He
director.
was told get the first boat. Oh no, yeah, that was the instruction the director gave. The high priest went with what he was told.
Honestly.
So, what are we doing, folks?
We've just seen a much fancier boat as opposed to we've actually arrived.
Yeah, you're not even all the way to the next major town yet. You've passed through a few minor ones.
I want that boat.
It's like multiple days sail.
Going to meditate. Unless we reach the city, and then I'm going to start... Well, I guess I want to get off and see what's up.
What? We're getting the boat. Come on.
Oh, we're
What?
just taking the other boat then?
I'm taking the boat.
Yeah, wait, is the other boat moving, or is it...
It's gently moving downriver ahead of you.
Yeah, cool. Alright.
I want the boat. I'm going to
Yes.
take the boat.
How much better is this boat?
It's been
It's better than
described.
this shit raft that you got.
It's been described a few times, but yeah, basically you have the first.
In
boat
every
that-
way is the simple answer.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
it is,
Alright.
it is a noble barge, whereas you have what you strongly suspect to be a fishing or minor cargo boat, and
I-
not a great one.
Let's
I am-
GTA the shit out of this motherfucker.
I apologize to Dog and say he's going to need to go a little bit further, but I'm also going to spend a pillar point to give him, what is it, +8 stamina?
Let's see. So you've got second 9 at the moment, right?
Yes.
Bloody buggering! I'm going to get the awful quick reference open now.
I feel like just my complaint about mummies mainly is that there are 6 different things that all seem to interplay with each other, and it feels like it could be simplified. Like, more things to track doesn't make a thing more better.
I think a lot of those sort of come from them trying to model the insane ancient Egyptian idea what the soul was, where it was made up by many, many different things that all interplayed in insane ways, and I think they were deeply inspired by that.
The thing is,
This
realism.
this also isn't that, for the record.
If they are trying to model something like that, there are just better ways. Realism doesn't equal fun. A lot.
I mean, this isn't that though, right? Your pillars are,
Oh, yeah.
for most intents and purposes, interchangeable. There are only very specific circumstances where they come up, where the
Yeah, fair
differences
enough.
between them come up.
Which, all of these slight things, I just feel it's kind of weird, to be honest. I get why they've done it, but I just think they went overboard. No one said no. Someone should have said no.
They also overcomplicated a lot of shit. Well, honestly, all the time. But this is also the era that gave you Scion, I think, which had similar issues.
I mean, I personally feel like the things aren't necessarily that complex. It's just that we don't have them down pat up to and including the setting to an extent.
Fair.
Sechem is really just generation, but dynamic. Like it's not even it's a system we haven't used before.
It's more like if you have pillars, but they're all essentially the same thing with very small other. I don't know. It's just.
Can I call time?
Yeah, we'll pace.
We keep derailing this session.
So yes, you pillar points per turn. Cool. So your attribute boost is still 4, so you can spend 1 or 2 pillar points at your leisure, Katya.
1 is enough.
Cool. That will. I don't think they have a stat block for a hippo, but I just assume they have stamina 5. So that would boost the hippo's stamina up to 9. In fact, that boosts most of the hippo's physical stats up to 9. Admittedly, not dexterity, but still.
I'll boost your stats up to 9.
So we could steal the bear boat and then have the hippo pull the bear boat at max speed.
Hey, Hippo has done his job for today. He deserves some rest on the fancy boat.
But you just gave him super strength and stamina. He could take us at a rate of knots.
For the scene, as your boat speeds up, as the hippo speeds up, all 5 of you sense something. Your awareness pulls in a specific direction, like a tug. Intuition, leading you directly towards the noble boat. You don't know exactly what, but something on that boat calls to you.
Steal that boat!
Yeah.
I will tell our humans to get us alongside the other boat.
I mean, up till this point, Anakh Sun-Amun's kind of had a detached interest, I suppose, in it, but she has more of one now that she's got a pull towards it.
It's no longer a detached interest.
Yeah.
It is an actual interest.
It is an active interest, yes.
The difference is sitting down and standing up.
Pretty much.
So,
Yeah,
I'm just looking at something real quick. Roleplay amongst yourselves as you all begin to catch up on the boat.
I want that boat. That director fellow couldn't even get us a boat. That is a boat.
What do you fucking say?
You didn't get us a good boat.
Well, then next time, you get the boat first. You organise it. I didn't see anyone else trying to find their way out of our previous shithole.
In full fairness, the second we rolled up to the temple, you told us you had a boat.
Yes.
Wait, which temple? When you rolled up to your temple, or when you rolled up to the library I was in?
The library.
The library was a temple.
The library was a temple.
Yeah, I did. But I was just saying that I just got the guy to do it. And, yeah, give a shit. If you guys don't like it, get a better boat. You could have waited around.
I guess get a better boat. Right now.
Could have just waited around, got a better boat. Could have done something better if you wanted. I don't care.
You didn't tell us you were getting a fishing boat. You told us you were getting
I didn't know
boat.
what sort of boat I was getting.
Well, then you're an idiot for not being specific.
Yeah, I asked for the most immediate boat. If you think it's so idiotic, again, we could have just waited for a new boat. You could have changed the boat we got.
Do we look like most immediate boat people?
I was already running late. I had far more important matters to attend to than sorting a boat.
You either want to be fast and get to the place immediately where we're trying to go, or you wanted a better boat. Which one?
I just wanted you to do what
The
we
boats
asked
can
properly.
go faster.
You wanted a boat, and you wanted to get there quick. I got us a boat, and we were getting there quick. We could have waited around for a day to get a boat that your sensibilities would have enjoyed more. Clearly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does seem like you don't have any
for your
sensibilities.
own hyperactivity in wanting to leave.
How much strength would it require to leap from where we currently are onto the better boat?
Unless you have an affinity or utterance for it, probably not a huge amount. We'd call it maybe 2 successes on a strength roll.
I have soaring falcon, which I think maybe does let me leap.
It may well, actually, at least one of them.
Oh, I do as well.
But do you have access to that utterance yet?
I think they're affinities.
It's an affinity.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I had this thing prepared, but I'm afraid I'm having a little bit of trouble finding the exact thing I wanted.
It does not do that at all.
What's it do?
Falcons drive themselves to achieve greater glory and often elevate others with them. When someone close to the Deshret's tomb experiences a desperate need or obsession that they cannot voice, she rises from her hennet with fulfilling that need as her purpose.
Yeah.
Once put out of bar, the Deshret may gain an inspired condition when she makes a contested action against an enemy, regardless of whether she fails or succeeds. And when helping another character fill an aspiration, the Deshret achieves an exceptional success on rolls with 3 successes.
Okay,
I was thinking of Falcon Soul Aloft, which is the Arisen can jump her full speed in yards, both horizontally and vertically, even from a standing start.
So, found the thing.
Yay, things.
Your boat is almost within, I guess, long-range jumping distance where you could use powers or spend pillar points to have the ability to reach it. It's perhaps 20, 30 meters away. You're coming up on it rapidly when it's noticed you. Shouting and crying from the deck has gone up. And someone appears, a handsome figure, towards the rear, standing atop the... God, what do you call it? Not a tower.
Bridge?
I guess bridge? The bridge of the boat.
I mean, that is technically what that area would be, I guess.
Okay, so a bridge then. So
if we're talking nautical terms.
Yeah, so they're standing aboard the bridge of the boat. They wear only a simple white loincloth. And their features are relatively handsome. For a brief moment until they flicker into a deathless visage. The corpse face of a fellow mummy. As its jaw all but unhinges, and it shrieks out a curse in Iremic.
It's terribly rude.
Relatively. As the skies open, rain begins pouring down, winds come from nowhere, and suddenly you are in a storm in the middle of the Nile. So incredibly mighty that it threatens to dash the hippo against your boat. And the same winds that are actively pushing you away and tearing you to and fro are pushing your foe along.
Hang on now, this is the superpowered hippo. Surely it can withstand some wind.
It's also superpowered wind. That said, we will let the hippo test.
Rock Wind Hippo.
Sorry?
It's a game of Rock Wind Hippo.
Yeah.
Let me see, do I have hippo stats? No. Hippo Chronicles of Darkness. Hippo stats. Okay. Aha! Dodgy online site with load of Chronicles of Darkness stats. It's the betting these are homebrew. Ah, they've got caribou in here, so yeah, probably. Rhino/hippo. Excellent. Those are comparable. Well, this guy has them at stamina 6, which would put him at currently stamina 10. And
don't mess with dog.
Also strength 6, which means dog is currently at strength 10. Capable of biting through bank vaults.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I know who we're taking on our next heist.
Okay. What do you want to instruct Dog to do? You have a telepathic link with your hippo friend.
I mean, in full fairness, I have no idea exactly what was on that yacht. I just noticed a storm brewing, right?
You knew there was also something on it that you were pulled towards, and as the 5 of you saw the mummy aboard the rear of that boat, your eyes locked on something.
All right.
a scarab pendant around his neck.
All right, dog, let's go on the boat. Chop, chop.
Okay, let me see what the heavy winds tilt does. Oh boy. Okay, so hippo, dog, in fact, has a strength of 6 and an athletics of 2, specializing in running, which means this is his specialty. So that is 12. This is a tornado-grade hurricane, which means you have an imposed pool mod of -5. So that will be 7 dice for dog, with 10s counting for 2. Oh, no, it's 10 again, right? So no, 10s count for 2. Yeah, 10 again, sorry. Ignore me.
Right.
Damn.
That is 5 successes.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, the tornado strikes. Or tornado-grade winds at the very least, whipping across the Nile, tossing your boat to and fro, tossing the mummies to and fro, tossing your poor humans thoroughly overboard.
Oh no, we've been tossed off.
But not tossing dog.
Oh, thank God for that.
As, with an instruction from Nefret Nebti, dog launches himself out of the water, horizontally, 20 meters through the air.
What the fuck? Let's go, girls.
He tosses himself.
Well, I mean, that was 5 successes. That was an exceptional success for the superpowered hippo. As it throws itself like the world's earliest ballistic missile at the retreating boat, impacting the rear of the bridge, and because it's a hippo, going at, I guess, full speed, whatever that means in this context, through the resulting boat, punching out the other side, collapsing the cabin, and skidding dog to a halt on the deck of the boat, neatly slicing a mast down in the process. Nefret Nebti, you and dog are now on a boat, surrounded by incredibly terrified humans.
Don't you ever forget.
What do?
Please tell you start doing flips.
I gently pat dog and say, "Good job. We're gonna need to practice the landing a little bit for next time."
Dog roars and eats someone. There's an amount of wood in the fat folds of Dog's face, and though Dog is thoroughly tank-proof at the moment, he's not happy to be stabbed. And as the mass falls on him and snaps across his mighty nose,
Aww.
he tosses his head to the side, whacking it into the spine of a nearby deckhand, snapping the deckhand in two so hard that the front of his belly gently tears open, and a little gut peeks out.
Almost adorable.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Dog.
I love dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
Good
Sounds
job.
like Nefret Nebti's not really in command of the situation at the moment, so it's at more or less this point that Dog goes on a rampage through the rest of the crew.
Oh yeah, like he's earned it. Did a good job.
Snapping left and right, massacring humans, just annihilating people. He's capable of fitting most of a human inside his jaws, and as mentioned, can currently bite through bank vaults. So he's just mulching people. He's a never-ending cascade of death.
I'm going to
can't
allow him
tell.
to keep at it a little bit because the boat did very rudely injure his nose. So, you know, he has deserved getting some of that frustration out. But eventually I am gonna tell him to stand down because we're gonna need some people to row the boat.
I think
I
you're
can't-
long past that point, Ollie.
I can't figure out if Neferet, I can't say it, or the hippo is more looking at this in like the Meet the Pyro kind of way. Like, I'm not sure which one's
I think it's
Looking at this in a more joyful manner.
more just Liz 2.
Liz too.
I don't know what that
It
means.
was Sophie's dinosaur mount in Black
With
Crusade.
jetpack. Don't forget the jetpack.
Liz's main ambition was to eat things, chiefly Sophie, but also everyone else.
Look, dog, if you eat them all, you're going to have to pull the boat.
Dog is currently in a berserk rage, for the record. So, light-handed attempts to, which you're fully well aware of due to your telepathic link to the hippo. Like, it is a hippo. They are creatures of death and destruction. Like, you're treating it like a dog, and that's working perfectly well. The hippo loves you. It's all other life on Earth that the hippo has a problem with.
Vibes.
So you're sort of sat atop the back of the hippo, gently telling it, now, we're still going to need some people left over, and maybe don't eat... Okay, well, you've eaten that. Okay, well, don't eat... Oh, okay, well... But that one could... Oh, you stepped on it. The boat is sort of gently coming to a halt. Those crew who have not been annihilated by the hippo have tossed themselves into the Nile, because even if there's more hippos out there, better them than this incarnation of Amut the Devourer itself.
You know, we wanted the boat to keep. Mm.
Look, dog had other plans, okay?
If you guys want to get off my boat, you're more than welcome to.
What kind of quality is the other boat in at the moment? What kind of state? Has Dog completely demolished it?
It is just about still floating, but that's all you can say for it.
Is Dog still on the boat?
Yes, which is also not doing it any favours, as it was not graded to take his weight.
Okay.
Your boat... actually, yeah, what's going on with the rest of you? None of you have caught up with it, for the record. The hippo missile launched itself out.
No, I was just commenting from afar, because I was just like, holy shit.
Can I see where Dog is on the boat from where we are?
No, you can barely even see the boat through the storm. You can hear the screams and sounds of hippo biting and surmise what's happening. Not to mention the fact that after he snapped it off, the mast probably came tumbling back and then got whipped into the storm, so you almost got decapitated by the mast of the boat coming flying backwards past you.
Having lost its mast, would that slow the boat down?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely slowing down. It had a mast and a crew rowing it, and now it has neither.
If we catch up with it, and I can discern where Dog is on the boat, I would like to set fire to the boat on the other end.
The issue you're having is not catching up with the boat. You were 30 meters away from it when the storm started. It's the supernatural tornado you're currently stuck in.
I don't think I can do anything about that. I don't think I can set fire to a tornado. And even if I can, I'm not sure I really want to.
Sound. The riverside grass boat is unlikely to cope well with fire.
Yeah, that too.
It is admittedly damp and windy, so I guess if there was ever a time.
We don't have access to, well, I mean, John does, but none of the rest of us have access to our utterances yet, right?
Yeah, none of you do. You have to earn them bit by bit, basically.
Okay.
There are various ways to do
bullshit.
Hey, you've got eyes, you can read, I'm sure you were taught.
Okay, so from everyone still on the boat in that case, I will take a strength athletics roll, please. Tornado grade wins, so the pool mod is currently -5 on that. To stay on the boat and not get tossed into the air or into the river or off to the bank 1.5 kilometers away.
Can I spend a pillar point to buff the shit out of my stats?
Absolutely, that gives you a +4.
+4, okay.
Is it strength roll, right?
Sorry, Ollie?
What would you like us to roll to stay on the boat?
It was strength athletics at a -5 pool mod.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to spend a pillar point for that.
Yes, themes.
That's even with spending a pillar point, and I just rolled 2 die.
Yeah.
And I think I fail.
Fail, unfortunately.
Can I just not?
Just gonna let yourself get tossed into the soup.
Yep.
Can I spend a willpower to get an auto success? Is that how that works in this system?
I don't actually know. Let's do a speedy check.
Did he spend the pillar for?
So the pillar points for the
I think the squares are how many you have at cap, and then the circles are how many you currently have. So you should have like as many circles as squares, and then you just take one out, and you have 4 extra for all of your physical stats.
Okay, so you can't spend a willpower to get you an automatic success, Ollie, but you can spend a willpower to gain a 3 dice bonus on a single dice pool.
Yeah, in which case I guess I'll spend my pillar, because I guess it doesn't matter which one, right? I can spend any pillar.
Yeah, you can spend it from any.
Cool, so that gives me strength plus athletics, and that's just +4, is it, to strength, or +4 to strength and athletics?
It's to all of your physical attributes, so it's to strength, dex, and stamina for the scene.
Cool, okay, so that's 5 plus another one from athletics, which is 6, and then I get a +3 pool mod, is it?
If you spend a willpower as well.
Which I'm going to, yeah, so +3, so +3, so that's 5, 6.
Katya, you didn't need to roll, you're on the hippo.
What?
Oh, sorry, who rolled as Nefret Nebti?
Yeah, that was
me. I picked the wrong one.
Well...
They both end in Nepti, and I was like, sure, that's right.
Nebti number
It's
1,
me.
Nebti number 2. Okay, cool, so that sounds like Nefret Nebti. Cameraire Nebti fastens herself to her seat and, shrieking her defiance to the heavens,
Yeah.
literally, manages to hold her place on the boat. Sat to her immediate right and concerned that even this tornado-grade storm may not stop the lecture, Anakh Sun-Amun allows herself to be yeeted into the water, where she skips like a stone
I would rather die than continue listening to this woman.
a kilometre or so across the water.
That makes the best mental image. Should I make a noise like a skipping stone?
I like to imagine that for the very first time since you rose from your tomb, you crack a smile, as nature herself evicts you from that hell conversation. Ollie, what were you going to say?
That was a -5 pool mod, right?
Yeah, -5. But
Cool.
+3 from your...
Yep.
Yeah,
It worked out as 4 dice.
Okay, so the director, likewise, does not allow himself to be tossed around by something as basic as nature, which has...
Tossed off by nature.
Which has no business telling him what to do. He is an alchemist, first and foremost. Nature is here to be subjugated and used.
Nature getting all uppity.
Unfortunately, however, the human he was talking to, into the sky. The other 2 humans, one in the drink, one into the waiting jaws of a confused nearby crocodile. And
Actually, the crocodile is also flying right now. Because they have to leave mid-air.
doing the death roll in midair, reflexively.
I was like, this is my normal environment, but you know what? I'm rolling with it.
Skippy the... And finally, Adiris. Alright,
Can I at
Adiris.
least try and land gracefully?
Yeah, alright, that's a fun ask. Meanwhile, fucking Anakh Sun-Amun, like any given anime character getting punched into the sea.
I'm legit just sat here cackling my ass off right now.
Okay, I will take Dex Athletics at a net -3 pool mod, please, John.
Dex Athletics, you say?
Yep.
Yay, success.
You are tossed high, high, high into the sky. For a brief moment, you feel like you can fly, until gravity reasserts her harsh reign, and you begin to sink down, 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 back towards the river.
Want me go up? Want me go sideways?
Focusing extremely hard, and with all the grace that your falcon-headed soul can lend you, you come to a relatively stuck landing aboard the shattered wreck of the noble barge.
Oh, nice.
Landing immediately in front of the Gore-Slick nightmare that is Dog the hippo. Half a human head, embedded by an eye socket on one of his teeth.
Liz defended from Dog, because this is just great.
Hello, dear.
Hello.
Dog roars at you. And is clearly contemplating eating you. Usually, he would be
Are there any humans left?
No, they're dead or fled, or in some unfortunate cases, only extremely injured.
I'm gonna grab Dog by the
Extremely
ear.
injured one is good enough. Can I just grab it and throw it into Dog's mouth?
I think you're the thing in front of him and intact is the issue he's having.
Yeah, but I can give him food.
He's not hungry, he's kill crazy.
I'm gonna grab Dog by the ear and go, Dog, stop. Sit.
You're gonna tell Dog to sit.
Yes.
Okay, I guess Animal Ken over Composure. He's your loyal friend, so I'll give you a +5 pool mod.
What was it? Composure, Animal Ken.
Composure +5.
Does Animal Ken exist? Yes, it does.
It is a
All
social skill.
That's a lot of successes. That's an exceptional success. That's 5 successes. Dog is extremely ready to kill Adiris, or at least try. Dog doesn't appreciate the subtleties of the situation. Dog has been chosen as the beast companion of Neferet Nebti, and Dog would usually be somewhat scared of Adiris. Unfortunately, being a beast companion gives Dog immunity to Sybaris, meaning that Adiris' magical fear aura does not affect the Nightmare Hippo. Dog has strength 10 and is spoiling for a fight. Until
We don't eat friends.
Says Neferet Nebti as she yanks the hippo's ear, and from behind, still riding him, bops him on the forehead between his giant, terrifying, blood-crazed eyes with a single forefinger. And just like that, Dog goes from doing the terrifying, bellowing hippo equivalent of a growl to just quietly plonking his ass down on the deck like a dog and yawning gently. All bloodlust gone from his body.
When he yawns, he just mashed up people in his mouth.
Yes, bits of human gurgle out of him. A finger flies out from one of his nostrils.
Ah, good hippo. Give him a little head pat and climb off.
His tongue wags lazily.
I love Dog.
I love lamp.
Oh, Ollie, you should mark that as gore. God. I didn't know I'd see a hippo attack. Fuck.
Not safe for life. Hippo attacks are dangerous.
Yeah. Look at that guy. He just tore that person's leg off.
That person absolutely fucking just got savaged. That leg just got fucking murdered.
So,
Now can I see the other mummy that attacked us?
well,
Join us.
That's what it looks like now. He's like, yum, yum, yum,
the
yum.
noble barge was sailing away from you. He was stood on the bridge, the tower thing at the rear, facing back at you, and then a hippo was launched through it. So he went pitching into the drink in his own storm.
Be him. Is he a lifeless or a What's it called?
Endless.
Endless, that's the one.
I think at the moment none of you all are even aware of the lifeless.
And we
Yeah,
sent
okay.
the thing.
But I could use Eye of Justice to see where he is.
Yes! And you do also have your innate sense for the thing around his neck, your kefir.
I can identify vessels with a glance, appearing in her vision with a corona of burnished gold.
Oh, yeah, in that case, the second you saw it, you would recognize the scarab pendant around the man's neck as a vessel.
If I spend a willpower point for the remainder of the scene, she can identify the nature of lifeless or endless on sight, and furthermore knows where anyone she sees has killed a mortal or sent a deathless into a death cycle.
Looks at the hippo. Yep. Killed at least one mortal.
That's one of them. But if I spend a willpower point, does that mean I could identify exactly where the person is?
What page?
Oh, good one. Sorry, that didn't mean to sound so sarcastic. That was like, I wrote it down on a different place. And didn't save the page number.
What was it called again?
Eye of Justice.
I am Justice.
Eye of Justice.
Hi, Justice. I'm Dad.
Hi, Dad. I'm Ree.
No, that's my power.
Okay. Oh, because it's bloody Chrome getting in the way. I want to use the PDF search. Screw. Fuck it. I will track this down.
Hang on, I can
Damn
copy
you,
and paste it here.
PDFs. That would also work.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Whoop.
Oh, 2 dice to perception investigation rolls. That's not bad.
I'll give you a perception thing. Nerd.
No, so you can't tell exactly what it is. That said, you do have your kefir, which is sort of like a quest marker for nearby artifact. Not even a quest marker. It's a good way of explaining it. If you think of it as like an internal spiritual motion tracker for artifacts imbued with second, like the alien's motion tracker.
Yeah.
So it tells you...
I assume the item around his neck is one of those items.
Is indeed a vessel.
So if I spend a point Reno, I can keep an eye on where it is.
Well, I think you've lost track of him in the store. Oh, I guess you sat down, so yeah, we'll say...
I was just chilling.
Well, I mean, there was still a storm happening, but we'll say...
Yeah, I
you
mean, chilling to the best of my ability.
I mean, spending a willpower point is reflexive, so we can say it happened retroactively and you kept an eye on him.
Okay, cool.
Regardless.
I go, blung! Where is the item?
The item seems to be at the bottom of the Nile. In fact, it's more or less under your boat.
Oh, sick! Do I have swim? What would swim be under?
I guess a specialty of athletics.
You can't drown anyways.
I'm not very athletic. I'm
No,
pretty
but
unath.
You also don't need to breathe. You just grab something heavy and jump in.
That's true. I will do that. I will grab a bit of my boat that has fallen down, or a corpse, or something, and
only
hop in.
really heavy thing remaining on the completely wrecked up boat at this point is arguably the director.
I'll grab the director. Jump in.
Get in there, we're going to ocean. Jumps into the river. Okay.
Not have a choice.
Ollie, are we resisting that, or are you going along with it?
I'm resisting.
Hey.
Alright, sounds like the director doesn't really want to come on your undersea trip.
I mean...
What if I make him?
PvP.
It was a mental sort of like no first, and then you're going to try and go for a physical yes.
Not really. She's wanting to go tackle the mummy underwater.
The thing is, I'm not a very strong mummy is the thing. I mean, I suppose I do have the thing that lasts until the end of the scene, though, right?
If you activated it, then yes, it does last to the end of the scene.
I guess then, okay, why not? Let's go downstairs into the drink.
Off we go.
And so, the two of you slip over the side and powered up by your pillars.
All that effort to stay on the boat, and here we are off it.
He burbles through the water. And yet, with his, I guess, vocal cords likewise powered up on pillars.
Pillars, not even once.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be worth it, really. Not that you've got a choice in the matter. It's not too far. How deep is the Nile? I guess it's going to vary, isn't it? But
It's a lot in which part, yeah.
8 to 11 meters. So, it's just about 10 meters down. The two of you land dramatically on either side of the rogue mummy. You would imagine...
Is he alive?
Yes, definitely.
Oh.
He's alive
Right.
and whirls into a combat stance as you land on either side of him. Normally, you'd all be moving quite sluggishly underwater, but all three of you are clearly hopped up on soul juice. And
Yeah, it's good shit.
consequently, the water is doing very little to even vaguely slow you. Although it is making it very difficult to see, as you've churned up a good deal of mud. You're essentially fighting in a big bowl of mud underwater. And that feels like a good place to leave it for the week.
Oh, okay. Wait, can I do one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
I forget. Can I use towering perspective to make myself appear huge to him?
Yes,
Watch out,
Kaiju Karen, it's happening.
What out? I'm becoming sick.
Towering perspective. Okay.
It also adds a bunch of intimidation.
Karen Kaiju.
Okay, so
Kaiju.
you spend a willpower point to increase your apparent size.
Is it bad? As soon as you said that, I heard I spend a blood point.
Oh, damn it. How big do you want to be, Sophie?
As big as I can be. But to viewers, she does not seem to grow, but the perspective of the world around her shifts painfully to allow for her stature, so I guess I just look like I've gotten hecking large in the
It
ocean
almost
strong.
sounds like you're forcing people to have a very, very wide field of view. Oh no, a very narrow field of
Yes!
view.
I'm just fucking with their perspective.
Which would be very painful for the eyes.
Yes. Fuck that guy, he's underwater as well.
Yeah, sorry. I'm looking up the various size things, and they are weird. They do seem to do like large animal, arguably quite small car, arguably medium-sized car. Like size 15 is actually consistently Jeeps or Jeep-like vehicles. It's like what is that? Okay, so let's see. What do you? Oh, you wouldn't be size 15 anyway. You'd be size 13 because it's 8. You've got a car of 4, right?
Yeah.
So that's 8 plus 5 is 13. Yeah, we're gonna call it. Fuck. Okay, so if we say size 5 is like 2 meters, then almost 3 times that would be you appear 6 or 7 meters tall. He said, fucking the maths. The Nile seeming to expand to encompass your girth and bulk. Do you want to give us a one-liner to close out before we go on?
I'd like to speak with you.
But not your manager.
I'd
He's
like
not
to
the manager.
Burble through the water, yet the meaning and the sharp, irritating tones of Iremic are extremely clear. And now that's a good place to leave it for the week. or indeed for several weeks.
You're a good place to leave it for the week.
As we won't be on next week, I don't believe, and we're not on the week after, but we might be on the week after that. Because moving and festivals and...
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone got any reminders for next session?
Huge.
Dog is a good boy.
Dog is a good boy.
Depends on your definition of good boy, I guess. But yeah.
I guess
Nikki is currently skipping across the Nile.
Is the scene is the scene still continuing when we come back next week?
I think we'll keep your pillar points.
Oh, okay. Nice. So, talking of festivals, if I have a date on Friday, if that goes well, then I may be going to another festival literally 5 days after Boomtown.
Nice. Who was hopped up on pillar juice?
I was.
That was just everyone but Anki.
I think so, yeah.
I'm not.
Oh,
You're hopped up on Nile juice.
I'm hopped up on Nile juice, but
I think more you're hopped up on just being awesome.
Like a dog with a hose.
Ewan, stop calling me out.
Any other reminders for next session?
old song, like a dog without a...
Not that I can think of.
The necklace seems important.
Oh yes, that I want to burn our new opponent.
Oh yeah, question.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds I can use my affinity to fix the boat after Doggo is done with it?
Pretty heavily if you can find even basic tools.
Sweet.
I was waiting for you to leap in with that when people were going, God damn it, you broke the boat. It's like,
Yeah, I figured I'd wait until, it didn't seem like the time to fix it.
It's fine. Besides, we'd have to find someone to row it as well, because somebody ate the crew. Not that I'm naming any names. Dog.
Look, I told Dog if he ate all the crew, he'll have to pull the boat. He clearly made the choice.
He has been running for some hours now. I think he's probably going to have a nap first. Any other reminders for next session?
Not that I can think of.
Don't think so, no.
No.
Fair. Any feedback? Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time?
We got heavily derailed a lot in that session, so I would like to see less of that.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think a little bit of, I guess, self-policing on the derailing is, I think, necessary.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
agreed. Although I think some of the derail was system-related, and that tends to be a lot in, early on with a new system, and tends to go over time.
True, but there was a lot of stuff that we were discussing that honestly wasn't even relevant to what we were doing at the time.
Yeah,
yep.
I would
true.
Definitely agree with John, because system derail happens, especially with early stuff. But I think I've had to do a lot more talking over people to get the scenes moving forwards. This chronicle than usual, which obviously it's just a thing that you have to do sometimes, but also we have to make some effort communally to build story inertia. Otherwise, I'm just speaking over people to keep us doing something. Yeah.
Yep. True.
Any other feedback?
It was fun otherwise.
Yeah.
I like the way you played out our little individual things before we left.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I feel like I'm learning a lot about history as we play this. Where I'm like, this is going to be Egyptians. I know it. Oh, I don't know this part of Egyptians.
I don't know Egyptians super well, I'm afraid. If it seems historical, please don't take any of this as historical fact. We are running an unholy amount off of the amount of my childhood I wasted playing Pharaoh.
No, this is historical fact.
look, no time playing Pharaoh was wasted.
No, I
It's more
strongly
just
agree.
like
But
this era of Egypt's history, like before all the major cool stuff and pyramids and pharaohs and whatnot.
Major cool stuff is very much a thing that comes and goes. That said, though, that is a whole other derail.
yeah. Though the Great Pyramids are up at the moment, and the Sphinx is as well.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
In fact, they're at the nicest time to see them because they're only like a century and a half old, so they're
still good.
They're completely finished, but yeah, they're still thoroughly. They've got the lovely facing on them, and they still have the gold bit at the top and everything.
They got the proper limestone.
Yep, I will poke you when you sail past them.
Neat. Take us a picture.
Click.
What's going on, Pharaohgram?
I'm trying to slowly ease myself into doing some of the mechanical sides of things, and that involves things like trying to work out how I manage utterances for other characters and such. Yes,
I also think, as always, you did a really good job of resolving and embellishing things we did.
Yes.
Anything we wanted to do generally came out a lot cooler than, at least I imagined it.
I'm glad to hear. I mean, I think that's one of the nice things about mummies is they don't really do stuff by halves. So whereas in a lot of systems, it's kind of more fun when you work for things, but as a result, you spend a lot more time fucking up. With mummies, it's a little bit harder to fuck up, but you do a lot more dramatic, cool stuff. It's not that dissimilar to Exalted in many ways. It's very what if Vampians was an actual game line by itself. I look forward to more Affinities hijinks and to giving people more excuses to learn their utterances so that we can bring those utterances out and start having more superpowers getting thrown around. And things like knowing the Sechem stuff and how to use pillars and things should come with time, partially as I learn these systems a little bit more and then can just go, oh, it's this thing, you just roll this or that without needing to look shit up.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll get used to it.
Yeah.
No, that's about it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you all, and I'm also personally really enjoying everyone sort of slowly discovering what bullshit they can get away with and what stuff they can't, and trying to shoehorn in some ways to get your cults and your tombs sorted, which should be fun.
Promise I will sort that out.
Yeah, same.
I will say, will definitely be easier when they are statted out, and I would recommend that you do feel free to go ham on tombs or cults. In fact, I will even say I have an honest-to-God's pretty good 3D Egyptian tomb tile set for CC3+. So if someone makes a particularly cool tomb, I might even just make everyone's tombs, honestly, and then you can compare tombs and laugh at whoever takes 2 dots of tomb versus whoever ends up taking 8 dots of tomb.
I've already taken only 1 dot, so...
Yeah, I've only taken 1 dot. Well, 2 dots technically, but
Then you're getting bunga tombs, both of you.
I don't care.
Turns out I've got 4 extra dots to spend, and tombs are looking pretty sexy right now.
I mean, yeah, they
Still gonna have a tiny team.
They do also power you up in various ways.
Oh, well, now I care.
actually,
Not to mention there's the classic mummy thing of arranging for yourself to be moved, but your tomb has to be moved with you, so you have your tomb moved brick by brick from wherever you are to wherever you're going, which can be quite far. The opening story for Mummy First Ed was in Iceland.
Oh, shit.
And the tomb it was implied at least to have been moved there from very much not Iceland previously.
okay, I take that back. I don't actually have any dots in Cult and Tomb
You start with
itself,
3.
like the trait. But I do have dots in Cult and
One
Tomb itself. Like, I
Yeah,
have 1
you
dot
have-
in Geometry and 1 dot in Provisions in Tomb, and then I have, 1 dot in Reach and 3 in Grasp for Cult. But I don't actually have any dots themselves.
So Cult and Tomb, as the affinities themselves, or whatever they are, act as, the base things for that, and then all
Right,
the
the
other
Amazon man was here.
are the extras you add onto your team. So you could have like by the sounds of it, a 5-dot cult and a 5-dot tomb, but you can have, that would be very basic without the additional extras the other affinities give you.
Do you get like a free dot in each or something?
You get a free dot in cult and a free dot in tomb.
Okay.
And then you get 7 points to spend on your cult.
For the record, the dots that you take in tomb and cult then give you dots that you spend on for cult, reach or grasp, or I guess cult merits, and for tomb on geometry, perils, or the other one that's like sick loot drops.
I would suggest.
I'm sorry.
I would suggest pace here because this is a pretty lengthy conversation. We can do.
That's fair. So basically, it sounds like everyone should read the tomb cult section of Charge N again, and I will probably read it again as well, and maybe put up like a digest or something in the group chat. Cool. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unsure of in that session? Everyone following the plot?
Seemed pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on.
Cool.
We're on a boat. We're going somewhere. I'm not really sure where, but we're going somewhere. I'm living for it.
We're going to the capital to go investigate
That's
this
the one.
Pharaoh guy and see if he knows what's up and why he's leading.
We're going to the capital. We're going to punch the pharaoh.
Yeah.
Alright. I thought we just
Right,
saw
is it?
someone with a better boat and we needed a boat.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was going off. I saw a better boat and I wanted it.
So, there's that whole situation happening there. I did have some plot twists planned for this session, but we either sidestepped them or I didn't have a good spot to put them, so I will hopefully have some more plotty stuff coming in the next session or so.
I mean, man with scarab. And
did have
he's
that.
scram.
That's true. He did
You do
scrim.
big scram.
Yeah. That was actually the smallest scrim. That was a tier 1 utterance. The tier 2 version is Gale Force Hurricane. You can unleash tier 1 and tier 2 at the same time. If he added tier 2, then it gets Rain and Lightning. And...
Bring the thunder!
Yeah, you basically bring the thunder.
The thunder starts playing somewhere in the distance.
Mummies would make the best rock musicians.
They do in the rulebook, actually.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, the perfectionist, right?
And what's the tier 3? And then tier 3 is Plagues of Egypt stuff, which is Raining Frogs, Tide of Blood.
Yeah, the usual.
You know, honestly, a raining of frogs doesn't sound too bad compared to like a category 3 hurricane.
They're all hallucinogenic.
That sounds even better,
it gives madness. Gives madness. It makes the area into a level 1 extreme environment, which I guess I'm not sure what that means in this context, but basically the rain of frogs is worse than just getting bopped with frogs.
It means you can't drive the radar over that easily.
Any negative effects imposed by existing weather conditions, such as damage or penalties, increased by 1, which means if you do it in the Category 5 tornado, then the storm would be strong enough to tear people apart with the frogs. It boosts the area of the prior tiers if you unleash it at the same time. And the extreme environment level increases by 1 for each tier unleashed at the same time, which means you could unleash level 3 extreme environment tiered frogs.
No. Okay, cool.
And afterwards, it self-removes, and the only evidence it happened are the scarred memories of its witnesses getting pelted by the death frogs. So yeah, there's levels. Cool, okay. I'm going to speed up experience a little bit and just give everyone 1 XP for the session, and otherwise we'll keep doing the beat stuff, but it feels too slow otherwise.
Cool, 1 XP.
1 XP, which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. Nikki, do you have any highlights of that session?
I want to watch your pick.
Anakh Sun-Amun making a very, very good impression of a skipping stone.
Fair.
Fuck this conversation, I'm out.
Yeah, Sophie, I don't think you were at your desk, but we did a whole like spiel after you started talking about how disinterested in the conversation Anakh was.
Yeah, I had to nip to the loo.
Yeah, it was whilst you were in the toilet, though. So there was like a 2 to 3 minute segment on Anakh not having a good time and desperately wishing Camera and Nebty would just shut up.
I mean, that's about right.
Any other highlights, Nikki?
Not from me, no.
Cool. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
Hungry hippos? Hungry hippo, I suppose, but still.
One hippo, actually.
Let me think.
Do you want me to come back to you?
No, it's fine. The casual mummy skipping. The 1 kilometer. I don't know how else to describe it, but casually skipping yourself across the Nile.
That was Nikki's highlight.
Oh, that's already happened.
She also didn't skip herself. She just didn't roll for the thing and got whacked with a tornado. That was in no way under her control.
I was grabbing a glass of water whilst those highlights came out, so I'd have missed that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, actually. Come back to me, maybe.
Okay. Sophie, do you have any highlights for that session?
Kar-zilla, and just the concept of Kar-zilla, it tickles me.
Oh, right. I thought you meant, like, as in an automobile.
No. As in Mecha-zilla, Karen.
No, I understand you now. Anything else? Cool.
I do, but I'll let other people take them.
John, do you have any highlights for that session?
Have we had the rampage of dog?
Nope.
Rampage of dog.
Anything else?
That you spent 2 minutes trying to find an appropriate Egyptian name for dog, and then Catty went,
Yeah.
You know what? Call it dog.
Egyptian name.
Wait, I had an extra one.
It's such an on-brand thing for pen and paper RPGs.
Sorry, I did have another one.
Yeah?
I have found out who the great grandmother / grandfather of Liz is. It's that fucking hippo.
I have been thinking about my plans for what I'm going to do with that map, and I want to do stuff with like exploring the Underhive and having various levels of that. And I love the idea of getting down to the final level and the race of lizard centaurs and their dinosaur mounts are down there.
How much of that world still exists after I got to be a great unclean one and decimate it, though?
I think you just did like that section of it. Greater demons vary. Well, they don't vary. They vary in how they're portrayed in the lore. Sometimes it's very like they were held back at great cost. Sometimes it's this one soloed a planet. It didn't even take them that long. So,
fair enough. To be fair, it's unrelated at the moment, not important.
Any other highlights, Sophie? No, wait, any other highlights? John?
I get to be the smart one and unlock my first utterance.
True.
Adiris is looking over nature.
Yeah, that's all I'll take for now, thank you. I shall allow others to have others.
Fair. We don't have that many left. In which case, Katia, any highlights for that session?
Let's see. Dog.
Fair.
Ballistic hippo.
I feel like we'll see that maneuver again.
I think so too, yes. Boat jealousy. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's how we plate. That's how we bait the players very easily.
Yeah, it becomes boat envy.
Nicer thing held by people who cannot fend you off.
This is bullshit. I want nicer thing.
You're all bandits at heart. Anything else?
Hippo's little soul calling out to me like it was destiny.
Hours later, dozens dead. That hippo currently has the highest kill count in the campaign. Anything else?
Pass for now.
I'm not far behind, though.
You kill like a dozen people, and the hippo's on like 24. I guess that's not that
okay.
far behind, honestly. Not that the population densities are amazing right now, but yeah. We'll see. Please don't get into a killing competition with the hippo. There are really only losers there.
Yeah, dog's gonna be one of them.
I kind of disagree. I think it would be fun, but I won't yet.
Okay, let's see. Do I have any highlights that haven't been mentioned? I'm glad we got the hippo stuff. Immediately destroying the boat.
You can fix it.
Nice boat? Fuck the nice boat.
Cool, and... upcoming underwater fight sequence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Me suggesting a floating device, anchoring device to Soph, and her grabbing another mummy as if he's gonna sink better than she does.
Someone would say something. That will not help. I just wanted to drag him under with me.
Fair. Anything else? Oh wait, no, it's my highlights. What was my highlight? I had another one. Fuck. Oh yeah, first utterance is getting used. That was fun. I want to do more with utterances.
It was an NPC one. I didn't even get to use my utterance.
Yeah, but I got to use my utterance. And in the
it's
end,
you and highlight.
Is that not really all that matters?
Yes.
Fair.
Unleashing the fury of gods on players and just feeling that little sense of satisfaction.
Full fairness, it didn't accomplish a whole lot before he got a hippo to his face.
He didn't get a hippo to his face. The building under him got a hippo to it.
Yep.
It's also still ongoing.
True.
So, those of you who had paused, any final highlights?
Hippo go brrr.
Hippo do go brrr. Accurate.
Oh yeah. Realizing the hippo wasn't swimming along, that was pretty great.
Fair.
Hippo go bounce.
What I'm getting out of these highlights is that Dog was the real star of the session.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else you expected, honestly.
You gave us a hippo.
I mean,
Liz was the star of at least half of our Black Crusade sessions, so I'm not sure why you're surprised that Dog would be the star of this.
Liz did have a pretty firmly established character. Lazy, eat, kill, plot to overthrow master. Simple plots, I'll grant you.
Just always craving another thing before can eat master.
I mean, she tried it a couple of times.
She did, but then
Just badly.
yeah. Thank you very much for the session, Ewan.
No.
Yeah, thank you. It was good fun.
Thank you. In fact, thank you all very much for a very entertaining session number 3. Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
Hippo eat melon. Hippo eat pizza. Hippo eat Egyptian. Hippo have good time.